Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today I'm going to be covering wipe. So there's a fair few people that don't have any clue of what happens during a wipe, haven't been around for the previous ones. So I'm going to cover everything you need to know about what a wipe is, what it entails, and also what to expect with wipes. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So the past since I've been playing, which is about September last year, there's been a total of 4 wipes, with another one coming in the next few weeks. Back in July last year was the first wipe that I was around for, or I know about, which was patch 0.5. Then we had another wipe just before Christmas, which was patch 0.7. Now 0.6 didn't come with a wipe because that was the patch that had the Glock 17. Now patch 0.8 came with a wipe this year, and that was what introduced the interchange and the Ragman storyline, as well as the mechanic tasks as well. Patch 0.9 came with a wipe as well, which was July this year, and that introduced a whole heap of new stuff, new gear, and a heap of new tasks with all the traders that are already out. Now patch 0.10 didn't come with a wipe, but they have announced on Twitter that there's going to be a wipe in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and that was announced about half a week to a week ago. So what are all these wipes, and what has happened during them? Effectively, every time there's been a wipe, except for the most recent one, which was in July, every single person has pretty much been reset to day one, which means you don't have any of your passive skills, none of your trader levels, no cash. It's all back to when you first purchased the game and load it in. You have your starting gear depending on what level of edition you have for Escape from Tarkov, and that would be it. In the most recent wipe, which is in July, everyone kept their mastery levels for their firearms. As well as that, you also got to keep your reputation for each traders. Now this didn't have a big effect because a reputation is gained by doing tasks, and the task is the fastest way to level. It would only really affect people that would actually level up purely just by fighting people and not even doing the task at all. Now I understand there's a lot of people that get frustrated during wipes, and I'll go into some of the points of that soon. But I think people need to understand the pros behind a wipe at the moment, and then we'll talk about some of the issues with it later on. So first up, every time there's a wipe, everyone gets reset back to the start. Therefore, it brings back a lot of interest because everything seems fresh. It usually comes with a major patch. Therefore, there's new content, new firearms, new cool gimmicks and stuff in the game to make it enjoyable. And then this also brings in the lack of gear for people. Therefore, everyone's on an open playing field. You'll see a lot of people running around with pistols, not fully kitted out gear setups, and therefore it makes it a lot more interesting for people to go into a raid and not just get trumped on by that one guy going around with the Fort and Fast MT. This making raids more unpredictable and more enjoyable for the majority of the player base. So obviously this piques the amount of interest of the game and brings everyone in to see all the new content, which is unlocked as you level up. Everyone has that goal of getting to level 40, and sometimes it takes people only a few days to get to 40, and then other people will take them a couple of months. Some people never get to 40 by the time the next wipe happened, and I'll discuss that in a minute. Also with wipes and all their new content, they bring in new tasks generally, and this can be actually exciting, so certain people have to try and figure out how to get these tasks done on their own if they don't want to use guides, and this can be quite enjoyable for some people as well. And then this moves into the next issue, which what happens is once people get level 40 and they've unlocked all that new gear, is the majority of the player base is either already level 40 or they've experienced all the gear and they've lost their interest in the game. A wipe brings back a lot of interest back to the game, therefore the player base is more fuller, and therefore servers have more people in it to actually fight against. Personally, coming from an Australian server, up to the weeks before a wipe, because there's already been a few months into the actual wipe, there's not many people on the servers, and I can actually go whole raids where I only kill a few scavs, and I literally cannot even hear another person shoot. But this brings an issue in itself. Someone like myself or other people that are really enthusiastic about the game will play the game so much that they'll go past level 40. The maximum level at the moment that is realistically reachable is level 69. I don't know if there's a pun intended on that one, but level 40 to 69, there is absolutely no endgame. So once people do get level 40, they try out the new gear. It's quite common that the other people will just go back to their other games, whether it be DayZ, Rust, whatever. It doesn't really matter what they play. It's just a matter of they've lost the interest in the game because they've seen the new gear. Whilst I do understand this game is in testing phase, it still doesn't have an end game, so the player base doesn't stick around long enough to actually test it out fully. There's people like myself and other streamers and obviously other people within the community that are really passionate about the game and its success, but it actually doesn't have the amount of people playing it that you'd imagine as soon as the wipe hits. So moving on to the issues with wipes and what happens at the end of, say, a patch before a wipe hits. Now, the major reason why I think wipes are bad is there's no longevity in your actual character progression. There's a lot of people out there that never get to reach 40 and they want to reach 40. So if you wipe their account, even if it's only 3 months in and they haven't had the opportunity to get to 40, they'll never get to experience it. Obviously, in the future, that might happen, but in the meantime, they can't get to 40. The other issue is people like myself or others that do get above level 40, they put a lot of work into leveling up their passive skills. Passives in the past have had a lot of benefit to you as a player. Strength makes you run faster, endurance makes you run longer and recover it faster, and then weapon masteries make your weapon recoil less, making you more accurate. So if you play a lot during a wipe, or during a season, we'll call it, and your account gets wiped, you have to level up all those things again. Understand that could be frustrating, but hopefully we'll find out in this newest patch, when the wipe happens, if they'll keep passives at least. Because me personally, the reason why I don't level past 40 now, and I've leveled to 45 times in the last 3 months, just by resetting my count over and over again, is because there's no point me leveling up those passives. There's no point me leveling to push it to level 69. The game needs to be able to let you progress overall for the longevity of it. With the Future of Tarkov, there's a lot of uncertainty what the end game is going to be, as it's stated that it's meant to be an open world game with a storyline you have to complete, do all those tasks, get to the end game, and then you'll unlock the end game being the open world, and you'll have to explore that with your clan or corporation alliance, and it'll be an amazing concept. Don't get me wrong, I'm really excited for it. The progression rate of getting to this stage is quite scary, as if you look at their roadmap from the start of the year to now, they've barely touched any of their objectives for 2018. Whilst I do understand there's still 3 months left of this year, and the roadmap didn't get released until the start of March, missing a lot of these objectives has put it so far back that I originally thought when I started playing this game last year, that it was optimistic that the game would be released at the end of this year. I can't honestly see this game being released within the end of next year, or might even be 2020. It was a joke a while ago where we'd say, oh, the game is going to be released in 2020, when people would ask us, and I'm talking at the start of this year or last year. I actually believe that's probably a possibility. What I am looking forward to at the moment is tomorrow there's a podcast, it'll be on Clean's channel, with Nikita on there, and obviously one of the major questions is going to be about this wipe. They're going to ask about the wipe. Hopefully they go into the Future of Tarkov and the endgame and all the stuff that's meant to be coming. I have been a lot more hesitant to watch the podcast in the past because it seems to be more a bit of a bells and whistles kind of thing, and I'm really excited to actually hear. I'm really excited to hear some of the harder questions from some of the guest speakers. So we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. A good little idea I do have for an endgame that would just tie us over for now, because someone like me personally, I get to level 40. I just wipe my account. I've got two versions of the game. I wipe the account, I start again, and I just keep going over and over again, 1 to 40, because that's where I find the enjoyment at the moment. The end game is just non-existent. Some things they could actually do in the future that would make it more enjoyable is, say, if they added like a prestige system. So say once you get to level 40, you can reset your account, but you can keep your passives. And so then that way you feel like you're actually progressing in the future. Now I know Tarkov has said, or BSG has stated, that wipes are there for technical reasons and it's for them to implement new functions within the game. But we have to be honest, it's also to keep the game fresh. If they can't start implementing a new endgame into this game, the player base will start dying off. There's so much frustration. You can see in other streamers, they're posting videos now where there's issues with exploits, bugs in the game, and it's almost to the point where I don't believe the game's going to die, but a lot of the people that are really passionate of the game are going to have to either find that new spark within themselves, and I'm one of these people. I'm not going to hide it. Over the last few weeks, I've actually struggled to play this game just because of some of the crashes that have been happening. But the passion has to be there for the people to actually make the game succeed. It's proven in the past that BSG have missed the point with some of their bug fixes, and I really do hope that they can actually fix some of these issues in a more timely manner so the game can progress to completion. I know this has turned into a bit of a rant, but I feel like this information needs to be out there so people can understand where the game's come from, how the wipes have progressed, and watch the Future of Tarkov, because right now I'm actually unsure on any sort of time frame, because you can't use their roadmap for an example. And I'm not trying to rag on the game too hard, because I do love the game, but I've always tried to be as honest as possible and to the point, and so I'm going to leave this here. So guys, thanks for watching another video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content. I stream on Twitch 6 days a week. Go down to my link below. Give me a follow over there if you have any questions about Tarkov at all. And lastly, I'll see you next time.